Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a video I haven't done in a while because I've kind of hit a little bit of a reading slump, but this is a wrap-up of all the manga that I've read in the past week. Some of these are not technically from the last week, some of these are from before that I just never got a chance to talk about. So there's only 6 volumes in this video, so it's not even going to be that much of a long one, but I'm just going to get right on into it. These are going to be listed in the order that I liked the least to the one that I liked the most, by series, not by individual volume though. Even though none of these I have more than one volume of for read. Yeah, one thing I read that I liked the least, not to say it's bad, but I liked the least, was the Four Swords Legendary Edition of The Legend of Zelda. The main reason I liked this one the least is because since there's 4 links in it, and they're all differentiated by color, it's really hard to do when everything is in black and white, like right there. It's kind of hard to tell which link is supposed to be which if they're all in black and white. The story itself was just kind of, it was alright. I just didn't enjoy it as much just because it was hard to keep each link separate. I had to look at their eye color, or not their eye color, but the eye design, and that was the only way to tell them apart, and it just kind of drew me away from the story, and I had a little less fun with it than the other ones. Another thing I read that I liked slightly more was Magic Knight Rayearth by Clamp. I've read this one once before. This is the first time I've actually read it in a physical copy. I think I was reading a scan of it before, but we won't talk about that. That was when I was a dirty scan reader. It's swords and sorcery and shoujo. Most people know what Magic Knight Rayearth is. 3 girls get transported to this magical place, and turns out they're magic knights. They cast spells, they have giant robots eventually. It's pretty interesting. It ends very abruptly, but I know there's a second omnibus collection to it, so I'm gonna pick that one up, and then hopefully it fleshes out the story a little bit more, because like, where it ends in this, it ends sort of abruptly, but like, it's a great story. The girls are cute. They have cute interactions. It's very shoujo though. It's all power of love and friendship and blah blah blah. Third, I'm going to talk about Doubt. This is Doubt Volume 2. I read Doubt Volume 1 ages ago. This one I actually read ages ago as well. I read the first volume of Doubt, and I had to pick up the second one because I had to know how it ended. And it turns out it kind of disappointed me a little bit. I was expecting it to go one way, and then I forgot that I was reading manga, and sometimes things get weird, and it took this whole other route that I just wasn't expecting, and I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. And it just sort of, I don't know, it fell a little flat for me. I kind of wanted the killer to be a different person, because that would have made the story a lot cooler than it was. But maybe if I read it through again, knowing who it is, I'll be a little bit more excited to be like, oh yeah, because that's when this happened, and oh yeah, that's when this happened, and maybe it'll be a little more interesting, or it could be more boring, I don't know, who knows. It was not a terrible read. Next up, I'm going to talk about Tsubasa World Chronicle. This takes place after Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, which it turns out I never actually finished, even though I thought that I had, which is embarrassing, because I really liked Tsubasa. And so this takes place after the end of that one. It also, I didn't realize that this particular volume takes place a little bit into the Holic Ray that I'm also reading, but this volume 1 happens during like volume probably 2 or 3 of Holic Ray, so I got some spoilers as to what was going on in Ray. Like, I had assumed what was happening, but now it's like confirmed. I'm like, oh okay, that makes sense, because Ray was very confusing. So far the story in this one is pretty great. They're continuing their adventure without Sakura, which makes me sad because I like Sakura, but the worlds are interesting. This one left off in an ending where I have to get volume 2 now, which, I mean, I was gonna get anyway, but now I have to get it even more so than before, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm just really excited to continue on with Tsubasa. The second to last thing, and the thing that I enjoyed second most this month, is Death Note, Volume 1 of the Black Edition. I recently actually just yesterday or the day before, finally got all of my Black Editions in the mail, so now they're all on my shelf. And I read this one beforehand because I'm like, oh, I just really want to read it, but then I was like, no, I should wait till I have them all so I don't have to wait, and now I have them all, and now I'm going to continue on reading them. But I was going to explain what Death Note is, but yeah, you have to know what Death Note is. If you're watching this channel and you don't know what Death Note is, stop, go get Death Note, read it, because Volume 1 alone it's so good. I understand all the hype for it. Mine, unfortunately, had a little sticker it came with, and I took the sticker off, but like some of the old sticker stuff is stuck on it, and I don't... It bothers me, and I can't remember right now how I'm supposed to get it off, but if you guys know how to get sticker stuff off the front of manga, because manga's a little more delicate than regular books, if you guys know, can you leave me instructions in the comments below just so I know what to do and not screw up my cover? Because I would really appreciate that. But yeah, Death Note Volume 1. It's intriguing. I really enjoy the gray morality of the whole thing, and I need to finish the series now, because now that I have it, oh, I need it. And last but not least, because that's the way I ordered it, this is actually the most important thing that I read. Well, not the most important, but the thing I enjoyed the most that I read last week was Erased Volume 1. This manga is so good. The anime I watched when it was first airing, and I really enjoyed it. And now I have these beautiful hardcover editions. Like, it's a hardcover manga, and I've never encountered something like that before. And if I could just quickly take off this dust jacket here, I can show you, like, it's got a beautiful spine. The cover itself has this nice feel to it. I just realized it's a little dirty. I might have put it down as something that I shouldn't have. But Erased, for those of you who don't know, is about this boy who, or this grown man, technically, I guess, who, when someone dies around him and he can save them, he has what he calls a revival, where he goes back in time, briefly, to a point where he can save them, and then he saves them, kind of thing. And then his mother ends up dying, so in order to do that thing, he has to go all the way back to when he was a little kid to help solve this string of, like, kidnapping murders that happened when he was a kid, and the events back then lead up to his mother dying, so he has to go all the way back to fix what's going to happen. And it's a great story. It's full of, like, really tense emotions, and it's very stressful. These are just little kids, and they're trying to save each other from, like, what really should not be happening to them. It's a very adult situation these little kids are trying to save themselves from, and it's really good. And if I can recommend anything to you that you pick up, please pick up Erased. It's so good. It's a beautiful stack. And yeah, this is it. This is everything that I read last week, and then a few things that I read beforehand. I'm hoping that I'm kind of out of my reading slump now. I feel like I am. I'm getting there anyway. I'm on my way to be out of this slump. So this is a pretty good start, all things considered. Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually pretty proud of how this starts, and hopefully I can just continue on and read and be happy and just do the happy reading thing and just be an otaku and never leave my house again, but still have money somehow. That's the dream. I'm gonna go. Have a good one.